Alright, so today we're looking at anti-gravity and everything about it. I'm going to show you how to navigate around it, gems that not too many people touch upon, and how to build some very cool things. And in fact, I tried to build 10 months ago and I couldn't build it, but now I can. And I'm going to walk you through a lot of things. So I would say download two things. You're going to download Antigravity, and then you're going to download the Antigravity browser, because there's three very unique things about Antigravity. Number one, it is a browser. You got to remember, Google's the one who developed this, so you have access to Chrome. That's why you're going to download the browser. Number two, it is an agent, and you'll see this thing at work here very shortly. And number three, it's an orchestration. Basically, you become a manager of agents, which is very, very cool. So let's kind of dig into things. I'm going to go just press Agent Manager or Command D. Now, essentially, this looks like any other LLM. Now, there's a few things I want you to know. Number one, you have two options. You can either do planning or fast. Fast, as it shows here, agent will execute tasks directly, used for simple tasks that can be completed faster. I personally use planning. Agent can plan before executing tasks, used for deep research, complex tasks, or collaborative work. I use planning. Number two, more importantly, you have access to a bunch of models here. I'm on Opus 4.5. I believe it's probably the current best model at the moment. Now, what we can do, we can basically type in anything here. All right, I'm going to show you this in a second. Now, the playground, if you see to the left-hand side, this menu bar here. I'm going to pull in and out. If we look here, you can see playground, and you can see I have a few things going on here. I'm going to show you what those are. But just so you are aware, the playground here, as we can see, as it says, a playground is an independent workspace perfect for quick prototypes or following your curiosity. So it's basically just like a playground, right? It's for play. And then we do have the workspace. That's where you're going to do your majority of the real work. Now, what does that look like? Well, that's actually getting, your MVP up. That's kind of actually doing the real stuff once the planning's all done in the playground. And don't worry, you can go to the playground and then you can actually bring it to your workspace. So I just want to show you quickly here what I have been developing, and you can see very quickly here. Again, I'm just going to come here to this code. All right, I'm going to open up the editor. Now, this is the implementation plan. As you can see, I want to brainstorm it with it first. We're in planning mode. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I'm currently building out an AI appointment reminder calling system for my clients, and this is the prompt. Help me brainstorm an idea for AI calling to remind them of appointment renovations. I want the user to be able to put in a list of names with other data like dates, etc., and have them call yada yada yada. Now, it will basically kind of key features to consider. And you can ping pong ideas back, right? That's what the playground is for. The playground's for basically saying, hey, Antigravity, what ideas could you help me improve this user experience? And that's exactly what I'm doing. And you can see here, this is the implementation plan. All right. And it just basically creates all this. And the cool thing as well is these are artifacts. So as you will see here shortly, when I go into the editor, I can actually click on a lot of this stuff. So it's giving me, as you can see here, it's giving me scripts for home services, key features, right? So there's going to be a multi-tenant management, white label caller ID, consolidated billing. Gives you, pricing structures, everything really. And then here we have basically the phase one. And you can, you're walking through this. It's amazing, because it's literally holding your hand saying, we can do this, we can do that. Do you approve? And that's why I like to be in planning mode, because it doesn't necessarily just act and build anything. It's guiding you, but it also wants your feedback. So then it says questions, bilingual, whatever. So I'm going to show you what I have built here, and then we're actually going to build some stuff. So let's do this. I'm going to go to Open Editor. Perfect. I'm going to come up here, and you're going to see all the code. All right, so this is everything I've been building. Now, the beautiful thing is, once you start playing around with it, you really start to get the hang of things. Now, depending on what app you want to build, is this for the actual app store, you have to obviously be in Swift code. Depending kind of what you're building, it will direct you, or you can just prompt it, hey, I want to use Swift code to build this for the App Store, whatever it may be, but it's going to know automatically. And then as you can see here, I do have Supabase. That's another thing you're probably going to want to download if you plan on building anything. When you're building something, let me just show you here quickly. I am on just a local host, as you will see, which just means it's basically just in my computer. I haven't deployed it yet to Versal. And you can just prompt it like you're speaking to your friend, okay? So that you can see is a local host. This is essentially what I've been building. As you can see, there's a dashboard. You have access to clients. I can actually implement clients. You have calls, all right, and you have analytics. Now, when you first build something like this out, it's going to give you a bunch of mock data. You want to program it, or you want to tell it, take out the mock data, because now we're using Supabase. This is Supabase. I would say download this as well. This will be linked down in the description, but this is all the back end. All right, now Supabase, it is free, and you can do a ton with the free version, okay? And as you can see, so we have a bunch of data. Right, we have the call data, we have the SMS logs, because I want it sending SMSs, I want it sending emails, contacts, campaigns, clients, all right? And the way we do that is we set it up, we download it, and then we basically interact this with Antigravity. So if I come in here, for instance, I just want to create a campaign, or even I go into clients, let's just add a client. All right, so I come in here. Now, if I refresh, it still stays there. All right, and then I can come in here. Very cool. I can come in here and I can create my first campaign. I'm just going to come in here, select client, cool, in the healthcare space. I can implement a CSV file, which is basically all your clients or all your patients, whoever you're supposed to be calling. You can implement it. Once you implement it, or you can do it manually, you're going to come over here, pick your call script, pick your settings, and then review and launch. So why we use Supabase is because when I'm in here, I can refresh and all the data is logged. All the calls are logged. All the analytics are logged. So it's really cool stuff. And this is all Antigravity. Antigravity created the front end of what you're currently seeing right now. Right? Like, this is absolutely insane. Some may say, yes, the UI looks a bit AI-ish. Sure, we can fix that easily. But what people can build, mind-blowing. So this is another tool I'm currently building. It is for just my socials, essentially. And the beautiful thing is, so you have all these files here. Let me just get rid of this, all this stuff we don't need. So you have all these files, and it all basically coded it for you, right? So at first, I mean, this all looks a bunch of gibberish, but eventually you start getting the hang of things, right? And just a few points to note. We have our auth setup, which is perfect. You're going to need that if you want anyone coming on board, right? In this file here, we can see just basically the layout of things. And then more interestingly, here we can see that we've connected to 11 Labs, we've connected to HeyGen, we've connected to Pixels, and we've connected to Supabase. Environment local is essentially where you keep all your secrets. All right, so I'm not going to show you that, but that's essentially where you keep all your secrets. You don't really want to show anyone that stuff, obviously. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to get a link. All right, cool. So let me show you this little easy project. So again, UI looks similar. That's totally fine. Again, we are on a local host. I have not put this on Vercel just yet. However, what I did do is sync to my YouTube, because I am posting, and I'm look, the best thing to kind of, if you don't know what to build, is just what are your own use cases, right? So I'm trying to post more content. Okay, perfect. What does that require? Well, it requires a system. So let's kind of build out that system, and then you find yourself actually diving deep into the tools because it's for yourself, and you learn very quickly. So as we can see here, it is synced to my YouTube channel. All I have to do is just press this. It's going to open, or it's going to show the recent videos. Another cool feature I can do is, well, if I wanted to post to X, well, what I can do is I can either customize AI prompts, right? So I can integrate with YouTube. I can give my API keys. I can connect my X account, okay? And then there's AI prompts I can adjust, right? And I can save down here. And again, because we are using Supabase, when we save, it doesn't go away. All right, it's still all there. So this is inspo. I can come here, I can click it, it will open up. So if you need some inspiration, if I need some tools inspiration, cool, I can come here, see what's going on. So as we can see, newest videos got updated, perfect. Subscribe, watch if you like these. I would say go watch these. But as you can see, it's synced because it's synced via my API, all right, for my YouTube channel. And then if you want, you can connect here. It does give me carousels. Now they're not the greatest, but again, all we're trying to do is just get proof of concept, just a simple win. That's all we're trying to do. All we have to do is I can press on this, for instance. I can come in here, and then basically what I can do is I can either create an X thread, I can create a carousel, and I can create a real script. And it's pulling from the transcript. Okay, so let's just say I can generate all content, which is going to generate content across the entire board, or I can do it individually. All right, now obviously, as you can see here, the carousels aren't the greatest. However, again, proof of concept, we have something to work with. So as we can see here, it produced the content. All I have to do is either connect to my X account. Now the X API, they do charge a little bit to actually post via the API. So if you want to do that, by all means, connect it to your X account, and you can actually post through this app. As you can see here, carousels are created along the same lines, right? 7 AI predictions, and we have a Reels script. Okay, again, it's all coming from the same data, which is amazing. All right, so as you can see, very powerful what Antigravity can create for you. There's no better time than right now to build these apps. It's going to build you the UI. Supabase is going to build you the back end. Vercel basically is how you can host the thing. GitHub if you want to collaborate with others. But this is amazing. All right, so we're going to brainstorm. I'm just going to say help me brainstorm an app. And again, you can see it working here. We're on planning, as you can see down at the bottom. And we're on Claude Opus 4.5. All right, so let's see here. What a problem are you trying to solve? Great, so it's helping us. It's guiding us. Who's your target audience? What type of app are you interested in? What type of app interests you? And as you can see, 3 of these, I did do a health app. We can do another health app here. Let's do a fitness. Let's do a food and fitness tracker. Again, big into fitness, something I care about, so I'll develop it. One of these here are actually a fitness tracker. All right, so after brainstorming, step number 1, brainstorm with it, ask it questions, get it to ask you questions, X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. Looking at your recent projects, I've seen you've worked on things like NutriTracker. That is the fitness app I was developing. But what we're going to do here is a food and fitness tracker. Great choice. And again, see, so it's even going to recall things I have worked on. So we're going to have core food tracking features, meal logging, super important, obviously, macro dashboard, great, water tracking, all that kind of generic stuff, fitness tracking features, workout logging, progress tracking, sweet features that could set it apart. This is where AI is going to sprinkle in its genius. AI meal recognition, snap a photo. I like that. My other one did not have that. Smart calorie budget, perfect. I love that. Questions to narrow down. Here we go. So, what's the primary focus? Even split between food and fitness. All right. So, check this out. I think we're all set. Now, let's do it. Let's start planning out your food fitness tracker app. So, as you can see, as up here, it's brainstorming. It's doing its thing. Now, like I said before, everything it creates is essentially an artifact, which essentially just means I can click into it. So, why I love this so much is because it's going to basically write out everything. And as you're going to see here, you can collapse all or you can expand all. Eventually, this will get very big and we can actually go into it, which is sweet. So starting work on a comprehensive food and fitness tracker application. As we can see here, creating implementation plan with features and architecture. Edited implementation plan, which is just what we worked on. Here we go. So this is amazing. So as we can see already, this up here is the artifact. It's the implementation plan. I can exit this at any point. All right, and I can just open it up, right? So we have those two windows we can play around with. Now, here we go. So we did this. Now let's view the implementation plan. Again, I like to view it. I like to work with it. I just don't want it doing everything. Comprehensive web application for tracking nutrition and fitness goals with a modern premium UI. Another cool feature, since it is Google, I'm going to give these nuggets to you as we go. Since it's Google, you can treat it essentially like a document, like a Google Doc. See this cool little this blue feature right here? So I can, in the code, wherever in this app, I can basically press it and comment on it. I can say whatever, and then I can add the comment. And what it's going to do is when it's writing all this out, I can comment at any time, and it's going to say basically a pending comment. And when it finds the appropriate spot to look at the comment or to put something in that is relevant with the comment I made, it will then proceed to do so. So as you can see here, the implementation plan is very detailed. We have tech stack. We have proposed changes, right? So this is the design system, app foundation, dashboard, food tracking, perfect. Key features, again, bingo, perfect. I can look at this, okay. Maybe I want to switch something up, and again, we can start brainstorming once again. Now, I can either press proceed up here, I can edit it, I can ask it for some other stuff, whatever have you. We're just going to press proceed. I'm going to exit this. This is going to do its thing. We're seeing the agent at work here with Claude Opus 4.5, and is going to write out everything, and you're going to basically see it. All right, so what you can do is, so again, I like to work with it. I don't want it doing everything. Let's just accept that. Most of this stuff you will be accepting, but when I was first starting, I like to at least see what it was doing to understand the code, because a lot of it is just natural language being English, and then it gives you kind of that code so you can see and you can kind of decipher what a lot of this stuff is after a long time playing with it. So this here I like to have open. So we have the task and we have the implementation plan, which we kind of went through, right? And all I did was I just went basically to the code side. Okay, so there's nothing yet here, but this will eventually start to populate. I'm going to accept this on the right side. So basically the way I like to have it is the brainstorming side or the implementation side I like to have here, just where my head is essentially. And then I will have the implementation here or the task here, and I like to essentially watch it do its thing. And I can sit here, you can grab a coffee, you can let it do its thing. Very, very cool. At any point, I can again comment if I don't want something taking place. And when it finds an appropriate time to basically implement my comment or take note of it, it will then implement and do its thing. But right now, we're just initializing a lot of things. We're kind of developing it. It's writing the code, not yet exactly, but it is kind of developing it. Now it's generating down here. Another cool feature is essentially what they wanted to do is this inbox here. So this inbox, essentially when you get a lot of things going, when you have the playgrounds going, when you have the workspaces going, this inbox is essentially it just communicating with you. It's just like an employee telling you, you know, I emailed you, you wanted this done, I emailed you, it's done. These are kind of the things. Do you accept this, this, and this? Like whatever. It's just like an employee emailing you. So as we can see here, all right, we have some idle. This is currently running. I can tap into it, and it's just going to bring me to where, you know, it's doing its thing. Perfect. All right, and again, at any time, I like what I'm seeing with the playground, I can then transfer it to my workspace. Okay, and the coolest part about the workspace is that you can basically create agents within your workspace. So you can create, you know, if we're doing this fitness tracker in the workspace, I can create, you know, the code agent or whatever it is, whatever's currently taking place. Then I can go to a marketing agent and say, hey, create me a marketing plan under the same workspace, so it's kind of all connected, which is another cool feature. Right, and you will see the browser at work here very, very shortly when it is doing its thing. So setting up project foundation, again, initialize the Vite plus React project, dev server running at localhost, that's fine. The user approved the implementation plan, yes. Building core components, the layout. Now, so this is the visual. Now this is kind of if we actually go to the code, it should start developing. Perfect. So as you can see here, before this was not populated, now it is, right? We have some public stuff. We have package. We have readme. And this will eventually start populating a lot. Let's press this. So look at all this. So it's going to essentially, let's go accept changes. Perfect. It wrote it all. Wants me to accept it, which I like. Accept. Perfect. Accept. And yes, you can accept all at once. So you can see here in our index CSS file, we have dark theme, and we can change this at any time. If we want a light theme, we can go light theme. Accent colors, gradients, all that good stuff. We have our app, right? So this is kind of, see, we can have calories here, 2000, protein 150. This is the coolest part, I believe. Since we are connected to Supabase, we'll be able to save stuff. And I did it with my other app where you can actually just implement meals. And the coolest part is it can pull, again, it's Google, so it can actually just pull data from sources, and then it can just say, hey, this chicken breast is X amount of calories. Okay. Not saying that it is a trusted source, whatever it pulls from. However, it works. After some time, we do have something built out. Okay, so again, it's a local host. It's called the Fit Track. Again, what we do have is the dashboard. We have the food tracker, fitness tracker, profile, and design. All right, and again, it's going to show you everything. So it's going to say open local host in your browser, add food, go to food tab, whatever, log the workout. What's next? UI polish, weekly insights. And as you can see here, again, you're working with it. It's working with you. It's not going to work every time. Sometimes you do have to jump through a little bit of hoops just to get some things together. Sometimes I actually have to shut it down, pull it back up because it's just not listening or there's something going on. So I just shut it down, pull it back up. Everything's safe, so don't worry. But the link is not working. So let's just see here. The server is running again. Try opening. Should work. If you're still having issues, yada yada. Let me check the server and restart it. All right. We can go dashboard. We can go food. I can add food. And again, if you recall, in the fitness tracker file, we had a bunch of stuff going on. Well, it already gave us some options. And again, it's going to pull from resources. So we have protein, 24 grams. We're going to do shrimp here, 24 grams. Carbs, 0.2. Fats, 0.3. 99 calories. Now, I don't believe that's actually far off. Shrimp's a great source of protein, by the way. So if let's check this out. There we go. See? So it did stay with me. However, if I go here, it still stays with me. Lovely. All right, that's the biggest thing. Breakfast, we can go fitness, add exercise. I'm a big incline dumbbell press. Let's go. Sure. Let's do 225. And we go save exercise. We can add a set. Let's do 4 sets, 5 sets, whatever. Save exercise. See, so that potentially is not saving. So that is not saving. So again, it's not perfect. So what we do is we come back to Antigravity. It's going to fix this. It's going to fix some code. Right, here we go. Right, and we're just working through it step by step. The browser's going to do some work. We're going to do some work. AI is going to do some work, most of the work. See, there we go, and it gives us obviously the justification or the explanation. Boom. What was wrong? The save logic had a bug. Perfect. Does not matter. All right, so let's go back and try it out. You can see the favicon here is the emoji. Very cool. So let's go to exercises. So let's go to fitness, incline bench. Let's do 5 reps, 225. Add a set, save exercise. Perfect. There we go. And boom, chest. So we can come back to food. Our food's here. We can go lunch, dinner. So let's carry on. So what happens too is that it will recommend stuff, right? And this, as you can see, this page, it gets long, right? Whether you're here or you're in the editor. See, as we can see, it's going to delete this stuff, right? You can come back in, accept, right? Accept changes, boom. So this, like I was saying, this page gets very long. So what I always like to do is, because sometimes you'll kind of you'll have to scroll up. Okay, where was I? What was it recommending? I just say perfect. What's next? And it's gonna essentially recommend what it did above again, right? So we're kind of in sync. So the features perfect, big features lovely. Boom. All right. So let's do AI phone logging. I think that would be a cool use case. And it's going to go about developing it, right? So it's going to think, all right, set up task boundary, plan the implementation. Again, so these are all artifacts, right? Like these I can click into. I can cancel, I can, like this here, I can expand all, I can look into it. And so it really becomes like, it's really user savvy. Google thought definitely into this. But you can see, all right, so again, you're going to want Antigravity. You're going to want Antigravity browser. You're going to want Supabase as the back end. Probably eventually GitHub sometime too. And then Vercel. So here we go. Again, it's going to give us the implementation plan, kind of the rundown before it proceeds. API required. This is kind of the first digging into an API. All right. So this feature needs an open API key. Perfect. Not to worry. How it works, you're going to take a photo, send to AI. Look at that, right? That's freaking amazing. And then boom. So if you don't know how to go to the documentations, or if you don't know how to go to OpenAI to get the API, it's going to give you the link right here. You can even ask it, please walk me step by step for OpenAI API key. Okay. Super simple. Super simple. All you're going to do, there you go. Right? Log in, and it just gives it to you. I used to think, too, APIs were so daunting. It's like, I have to find this key. Where is it? It's hidden. They hide it. And it's like, it's not a big deal. Super easy. And as you keep going, you can keep asking it things. So, what are some other features that we can improve on? So, right now, it gave us, it gave us a few prior, right? Then it's going to give you some more. Then it's going to give you some more. Then it's going to give you some more. And eventually you get to the point, too, where it keeps just saying, do you want to deploy it now? Do you want to deploy it now? All right, so then we essentially have, and you can connect, domains or whatever, but essentially you have a URL instead of a local host. Because eventually you want to take this abroad, you don't just want to keep it within the computer. Bingo. Okay, super simple. So now I can give this to people. But as always, my friends, I will see you tomorrow.